and welcome to another episode of Tribunal of the Grid, where we talk about all things Power Rangers, including the actors that play them. My name is Brandon.
I am Lena.
And I'm Will.
And today we will be talking about a few little things that happened this past week. You know what I'm saying? A couple little things that happened. Yeah. Well, not really a couple, but mainly just mainly one thing that happened.
Yeah.
But
one thing, we have a lot to say.
Okay, so, about this one specific thing. But buckle up. Okay, buckle up, because I'm gonna tell you right now, it may be a history lesson. So, there's gonna be some teachable moments here,
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and if you are gonna continue listening on to this episode, please keep an open mind. Don't listen to the whole thing before you form your judgments. Just say.
Right. And not only that, also too, it may be a little spoilery. So, but I'm pretty sure if you know what we're talking about, 9 times out of 10, you probably already know of it. So you're probably already was spoiled anyway. But just in case, if you're just one of them people who is just I am trying to avoid this as much as possible until it actually comes to the States, then I would probably say do not listen to this.
Yes. Don't listen.
Right. So there will be Dino Fury spoilers. So if you don't want to listen to that, then don't listen when we get to this topic.
Exactly. We'll be back next week. So do not worry. We will be back, and we have lots of other episodes for you to catch up on if you already haven't. So, subscribe, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, all of them. But
all of them.
Your final warning, this is a spoiler alert episode.
Facts. So, like I said, if you want to just avoid all of it, and you're just I'm not trying to hear none of it until it comes to the States, then this is not the episode for you. But like I said, if you've been on social media as of lately, then you already know what is given. Now today we will be talking about the Izzy, coming out as an LGBTQ Ranger. We'll be talking about that. We will also be talking about Power Rangers and Mighty Morphin Comics issues 6 for both. But first, before we get into any of that, just a little check-in. How are we feeling? How are we doing? What's been going on as of lately? What is it giving?
Well, it's been an interesting week. That's all I got to say. And I think overall, I'm exhausted. I'm tired. And you guys will find out why as we chat along. I know my fellow host here, Brennan, has been super busy. Please tell us, give us a quick little, a little taste before we get into it. How was your week, Brennan?
I mean, other than the foolery that has been going on, my week has been fine, actually. To be truthfully honest, my week has been fine. It's been heavy. I will say it has been a little heavy. Just figuring out and finding out just how. I mean, obviously we know that this people are people, no matter what, in any fandom, people are people.
Yeah.
But when it hits different when it's a situation where it's something that has always been about inclusivity and diversity, and then you realize people really don't know the definition of either one of those words.
Right.
So it's very interesting when you really actually see, because my thing is, it's you do have franchises that are very story driven and are very specific. So I do hold space for some people who are just married to the original concept. But when you have a franchise like Power Rangers, where it's literally built on teamwork and diversity and inclusivity and acceptance and toleration and all of those things, it's what show are you watching? What show are you watching? Because I did see one comment on Twitter where someone was Well, people mainly only watch Power Rangers for the fighting and the action, and I'm like, well, if that's all you watched it for, then I can see how you would feel some kind of way, because you don't really understand. You didn't understand the assignment to begin with. You didn't understand the assignment. So, I can understand how some people would have some sort of opinion on it. But then again, also too, it's just like, okay, if you just grew to be bigoted, then that's just what it is. But yeah, like other than that, like my week has been wonderful. How about you?
Yeah, good. What about you, Will? How was your week? What did you get up to?
Just work. Honestly, that's it. Like it hasn't been there's nothing going on right now.
I love how you get Brett and I, who are so upbeat about how not great our week is. And then you get yeah, just work.
I'm kind of bored. So what?
Oh, well, be bored no more. We're here to entertain you for the next hour and a half.
Okay. Okay. And I mean, since we already on the topic, let's just go ahead and get right into it, because I mean, let's not belabor it. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just go ahead and just get into it. So of course, as you probably already know, y'all, like France now is airing Dino Fury. For those of you who either just do not know or just been out of sync with everything, because I mean, like, there are people who are still like, where are these episodes airing? This doesn't make sense. And it's like, everybody's been saying they're airing in France forever. Like this news has been flying around for a while. So like, I don't understand how you don't know this. But yeah, so if you don't know, the show is airing in France right now. And they will probably be pretty much either done or halfway done by the time it airs here in the United States, which is going to be September the 18th. Just FYI, like I said before, this is going to be a spoilery episode. One of the episodes, I believe it was episode 13. I put 12 in the comments, so I apologize if I misled people. I accidentally put 12, but in actuality, the episode is episode 13. Izzy is revealed to be queer. Like, she is of the LGBTQ community. In the actual scene, I don't know if anybody has actually seen the scene, but it's a scene, and first of all, I can't speak French, so I have no idea what they're saying. But Adrian is talking to Javi, and apparently, from what I gather, Javi is like, trying to play matchmaker and trying to hook her up with Adrian. Adrian is looking like, well, bro, you know what I'm saying? I can't really be with her because she was somebody else. And Javi turns around, he looks, and Izzy is with Fern. They're having a moment, and they hold each other's hands. They look in each other's eyes, all like, I love you, boo. I love you too, boo. And then they walk off into the sunset, and everybody's like,
come on. It wasn't that serious. It's only high school. It is Power Rangers.
I'm drunk. I'm dramatic. Don't do that. I'm dramatic. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was giving her a real, hey, boo, how you doing? I'm doing good. You like Japanese food? I love Japanese food, girl. Let's go get some. Okay, girl. And then they just holding hands, and they just look in each other's eyes like, ooh-hoo. And then everybody's like, ooh-hoo. And like, they all happy for her and stuff. And that's how the episode ends.
Oh my God. I just can't.
Now, mind you, like I said, I can't speak French, so I don't know what the hell they were saying. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a cute moment. If you were just looking at it with the sound off, it was cute.
Well, Fern, real quick, Fern is, we met her already. I think we might have mentioned this last week. We met her already. She was the Asian girl that was like the rival track star. And she fell into a ditch, and Izzy decided to help her.
Right. I just realized something. Is she falling for the bad girl?
She might not necessarily be a bad girl. She was just mean.
Okay,
Or
well, I meant like bad girl, like in an edgy way. I don't mean a bad girl as in like.
there wasn't nothing edgy about that girl from what we saw. She just was mean mugging her.
Well, you know what?
Yeah,
You
they
never
just
know.
had
She
it
could be
was
a
just
little
rivalry.
spicy. She could be a little spicy.
Competitive rivalry.
Yeah, it was more. Yeah, it was more. It was just more so like, oh, like, "Ooh, I don't like you because we're competing. Oh my god, oh my god. And there was a little bit of tension there, but it was more than just competitive energy. Yeah. It was a little bit like, oh.
I am actually really curious as to what caught each other's attention. Because like they've been there for a while, and I'm surprised that they haven't really, you know, like I'm interested to see how this happens because you know what I hope? I hope that when we do finally see it, it's not like one of those situations where out of nowhere they're a couple. Like I hope that there's a cute little built up to it, where
I don't think it's gonna be that because like they've already kind of set it up. And to me, I don't really necessarily, I'm hoping not anyway, because I have heard of people actually talking about the episode on Twitter, and they said that it was probably one of the best episodes of Dino Fury. So not because of the fact that, they hooked up, but just the storytelling as a whole on the episode. They were like, oh, this is probably one of the best episodes. So, and even Simon Bennett said that this is his favorite. This is like his favorite episode. So
wow, okay.
I'm like, I'm kind of hyped for it because so far, Simon Bennett, whenever he said this is a good episode, it actually turned out to be a very good episode because he said the same thing about the episode where Javi and Izzy first become Rangers. And that is, to me, probably one of the best episodes of Dino Fury. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, if he says it's good, all right, Simon, I'm gonna hold you to this. And also, he said it has one of the best morph sequences in it too, which I'm like, oh, so y'all went all out for this episode, huh? Y'all went all out. Okay, so now I'm really ready to see it. You know what I'm saying? So
for sure.
I'm ready. Like whenever this episode come on, it's episode 13. So we're gonna see it this month. Not this month, in October. We're probably gonna see it in October. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see it. I'm ready. But that
sounds very exciting. But what I wanted to bring you guys back a little bit. I'm also cry laughing because if you all follow Brennan on Instagram, you noticed this past week he did a whole entire commentary on what were you watching? What were you
watching? Buffy. I was watching Buffy. And oh my gosh, first of all, if you follow me on Instagram, then you would know, like, I watch a whole bunch of shit and like I'll record it and like I'll do my reactions. And these are all things that are just in my head that I say anyway. Like I'll say it while I'm watching the show. So I mean, like, so I'm just saying the shit out loud, and it'd be funny.
Exactly. So basically, when he's giving you all that summary, that's all I'm picturing. Is that sexy from Buffy?
Which one was it? Oh, it was Kennedy and Willow.
Yeah, Kennedy and Willow, and Faith and Robin.
Wood.
Yeah. I was
like, ooh, baby. First of all, sidebar for 1 second. Between Faith and Robin, first of all, I was like, not he grabbing her by her neck and was about to choke her. I said, ooh, he was about to get her. He was about to tear her up. And I said, yes, God. Faith, you better get that dark meat girl. Because he was about to tear her ass up. I know he did. I know it. Okay. But I kind of felt like Robin and Faith worked better anyway. To me, they worked better because their chemistry, I like their chemistry a lot more than him and Buffy. I like their chemistry a lot more. But we're not talking about Buffy. We're talking about Dino Fury and Izzy and Miss Fern, which 9 times out of 10, if I watch this episode, I'm probably going to do the same thing. So if y'all want to follow me, y'all might get a little commentary from me with that. But anyway.
And it's worth it. Do it. Like I was literally at work I'm at work, like doing stuff, like helping customers, whatever. And in between ringing customers in, I'm watching this and I'm like cry laughing. And people are just like, I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm like
oh, baby, I'm sorry. What you need, honey? I'm sorry.
Right? I'm sorry. This is great.
Oh my goodness. But no, like, that's what happens in the episode. And so a lot of people, when it first came out, a lot of people were confused. They were like, well, is it really confirmed? Or, are people just speculating and blah, 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 blah. And it was like, it's obvious, y'all. Like, stop this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for the people who actually watched it, like, it's confirmed. Like, it's not a situation where we're just sitting here looking at it and just trying to guess. No, like, it's actually confirmed. So, and 9 times out of 10, most people aren't going to just post something with visual evidence and be like, well, this is a thing, without actually knowing for a fact that this is the thing. Like, we see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's obvious. But you, of course, had people being like, oh, I don't know if this is confirmed or not. And it's like, okay, stop this. You had those.
Oh my God.
And then you had the people who were super excited, which I was very happy for. I was happy to see that there were a lot more people who were more excited and more happy about it. It was great. Like, from the very beginning, I remember when I posted it, I was like, I just saw just a slew of people just commenting and be like, oh my God, this is great. I'm so excited. Oh my God, finally, LGBTQ is finally being represented. Oh my God, this is great. So it was a lot of that. It was overwhelmingly a lot of that, which I was like, sigh of relief. Because at first when I made the status, I didn't even add anything in there being like, if you have anything negative to say about the LGBT community, don't. Or you'll be, or we'll handle you accordingly. I didn't put that there because I saw so much positivity until I realized what we were dealing with, because I thought of a certain somebody, Trini from the 2017 movie. Mm-hmm. And I remembered the reaction that she got. Mm-hmm. And I was like, let me go back and put that in there. Mm-hmm. I was like, let me backtrack this real fast. So I went ahead and I re-edited the post and I added that in there because I was like, I don't want any bigoted bullshit on our page. I don't want it. I don't want it because of the simple fact that this is not the place for that. Like, you can do this anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can do this on anybody else's page. I don't care. You can do it on your own page for all I care. I don't care. But the moment that you come on our page with that, then I'm gonna be like, baby, we got to, no, I gotta let you go. So that's what I did. I went back and I re-edited it. And what happened? Somebody just had to come and test us. Now, as Lena said before, I am the one that is normally popping off. I am the one that will probably read you for filth. I am the one out of the group that will do it.
Read you for filth.
Okay, I will read you. I will read you for filth, and I don't have a problem doing it. I really don't. And like Lena said, if there's anybody that's going to read you on our page, it's going to be me. Yeah. So there was a certain person who got up on the page, and he was the very first person. He was the kickoff. I was like, oh, okay. And pretty much he's known for, from what I've seen anyway. I've seen this kid for a while because he was the one who was all up in arms about Trini in the 2017 movie. Like, he was like one of the loudest bigoted homophobic people talking so much crap about Trini and all this stuff. It was ridiculous. So he gets up and he's like, made this show end in failure for this. This is not the kind of crap children should be exposed to. Block me if you want, but the facts are facts.
No, that's not even facts. Like, what?
So of course, you know, I was like, don't mind if we do.
Right?
And I called it. I called it a day. You know,
I laughed so hard. I'm not gonna lie. When I seen you say that, I was like, yep, that was my exact reaction. Don't mind if I do.
Don't mind if we do block you. Because here's my thing, right? First of all, and this is what I said in the stories. Yeah. In the stories, when I posted it, I'm like, first of all, this page is ran by people who are in the LGBTQ community, people who are non-white.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we are the definition of inclusion and diversity.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that you come on this page,
out of all page, you could have picked
out of all pages,
you could have picked
and
anyone.
you white,
right? I was just
and you white and straight and cis, and you come on this page with that.
No.
Baby, baby, I'm gonna have a field day with you. I'm going to drag you.
And not even just that, though, guys. And I'm saying this honestly. Brennan just knows how to put people in their place without sounding like, without all the mumbo jumbo words, without all the excess, unnecessariness. You just tell them and you get straight to the point, and it's not even rude. Like, it doesn't even sound rude. It's just like, okay, cool, bye.
It is what it is. It is what it is, and that's why, and that's literally my thing of it all. And this is, and we talked about this in the group chat during that whole day of just everything coming. The main thing that we came to the consensus of, to the agreement of, which everything we said that was agreeable. Everything we said was right. But the one thing that stuck out to me, that when we were talking in our group chat, is, and I believe you said this, Will, human rights is not an option. It's not an opinion.
Yeah.
Human rights is not an opinion, baby. Like, it's one of those situations where it's like, you mean to tell me that you have an opinion on the fact of the matter whether I should live or whether I should be seen? Like, that's not an opinion.
Yeah.
That's not an opinion.
That's something that I don't think that people actually really take a moment to think about what they're really saying when, in particular, when it comes to gay representation on TV or in music. A lot of times you'll hear somebody say, well, I don't have any problems with gay people, but my kids shouldn't have to see this. They shouldn't have to see, a relationship, between two men, two women on TV. They shouldn't see a gay male singer or rapper on stage. And it's like, you do realize that, okay, so I guess basically what you're saying is, okay, you can be gay, but just do it in the shadows. And that's not fair. That's not fair. These are like, oh my God. Like, I just don't understand how you can't see the humanness of a person just because they're different. And the parallels of that and racism are right there, and you can't see the parallels there. It's really frustrating. Like, for me, I think for you, Brandon, it seems like it's like you don't really give a damn, and you'll just tell somebody off. But like, it hurts me when people aren't just accepting of a person for who they are, because who they are is what is more important, the person that they are, not that small part of them. And people need to be seen. People should be seen. It shouldn't be a big deal. It shouldn't be something that's frowned upon. It shouldn't be something that you're afraid to expose your children to, especially this is Power Rangers. All we're going to see is two girls holding hands. It's not like they're going to be making out. And even if they were making out, you can see a boy and a girl make out, and you don't really care about that. It's the same thing.
But then
you just don't understand it, or it makes you uncomfortable. Right. So now in turn, your child that you think you have ownership of, they have to believe what you believe. But like, your child is their own person.
Yeah.
Your child may be gay right now.
Right.
Like, you have no idea.
Right.
Because children can be gay too.
Yep. And it kind of goes back to what we may have not mentioned this before on the show, but we talked about in our chat group where we were talking about sexualizing.
Yeah.
Community.
Yeah.
Why?
Right.
Why?
I mean,
yeah.
A lot of the hate. No, I was just going to say, a lot of the hate, especially when you start getting into the reason why a lot of people hate the LGBT community, there's a history behind that. And it's mainly because of a lot dealing with just the freedom of LGBTQ, getting to where we are. Because there's a history. There's a whole thing. There's a whole how can I put this? There's a whole timeline. Like it just didn't happen to where all of a sudden, boom, now we're here. We're here and we're queer. No, like that's not how this happened. Like there was
queer.
Right, we're here, we're queer, and we're, this is what it is.
Title.
That's okay.
The title of the show.
Oh, that's the quiet. Okay, perfect.
I love it. We're here, we're queer.
We're here, we're queer. Like that's not how this happened. Like for anyone who doesn't know, and I really feel like that this history should be taught because it is American history. Yeah. Homosexuals in general. Like the way homosexuals had to fight because, and for those of you who do not know, the Stonewall riots were actually led by two women of color, specifically two trans women of color. Let's be very clear. So let's go ahead and let's give reverence to our mothers. You know what I'm saying? Because without them, without our trans mothers, you gays couldn't have been gay freely. It just wasn't going to happen, at least not here anyway. And it sparked a movement that really changed the course of history around the world. There are still places in this world where being gay openly, you could be persecuted, you could be killed for that, Russia. But anyway, like this can happen. So what ended up happening was before the Stonewall riots, literally cops would go undercover, go to gay bars and basically raid them. And a lot of people who were going to the gay bars, they were going there in secret. And they would be teachers, doctors, just anybody. And if they were outed, they lost everything. So this wasn't just a situation where, you guys are just out here just doing whatever. No, this is the right to actually exist, the right to live. Yeah. And people deserve to actually have that right to exist openly without being persecuted. And the reason why I said sexualizing the LGBTQ community is because of the fact that whenever people say that they have a problem with it, it always links back to what? And it's normally always a Christian ideal. It's always a Christian ideal. And they always say, well, in the Bible says it's wrong. Okay, the Bible says it's wrong. Why does the Bible say it's wrong? Because God, and the favorite quote, God created Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. Okay, great. We know that. Why did he do that? To procreate. So why are you saying that this is wrong? Because two men and two women can't procreate. It goes back to sex. And it turns into this whole thing of like, oh, y'all are just nasty. You're this, you're that. And the only thing that people really can wrap their heads around is the fact that, oh, the sex you do is not right. You know, I don't like it. It all goes back to sex. And it's like, number one, why are you in our bedrooms? Number one. And number two, like, why are our bedrooms the topic of conversation? Nobody is talking about how bad y'all look when y'all have sex. Dear God, because I'm gonna get technical. Like, if anybody knows me, I'm always talking about how bad straight porn looks. That shit looks terrible and looks painful. I don't know how y'all women do it, because I'm telling you, women, I don't see how y'all do it, because I'm telling you, straight men, there is a reason why there are women, married women to this day, who have been married to their husband for years, and have never had an orgasm. Because of the fact that men do not know what they're doing.
I mean,
they don't know what we're doing. They don't know what they're doing. And the thing is, it's just like, y'all sitting here caving for this? This is what y'all caving for? You know what I'm saying? But we're not over here criticizing you. And y'all sex look terrible, but we're not criticizing you. So why are you constantly over here? And the thing is, it's just one of those situations. And I'm making this a joke, but at the same time, it's just one of those situations where you are hypersexualizing a group of people who just want to just literally exist and just be left alone. Not only that, but also you're trying to make it a deviance so that you can try to stamp on quote unquote pedophilia, which has nothing to do with the LGBTQ community. Just so that you can
people that are fucking pedophiles, or should I say pedophiles that go for, well, it's just in general, they want children.
The thing is that's the argument. That's the argument. You're weaponizing, and that's the point I was getting at. You're trying to find a way to weaponize children. That's really what it is. You're trying to find a way to weaponize children to make the LGBTQ community seem deviant. So, you know, it's just one of those things where it's like, y'all are literally using your children to shield your own homophobia. That's really what this is. And it also goes back to, you know, certain people who made comments, who made a comment on our page, who wanted to talk about something. I see this now as a parent. First of all, and baby, let me tell you personally about yourself. Let me tell you personally about yourself. Just like Will said, your child may end up being gay. I'm gonna tell you now, when I watched Power Rangers as a kid, I already was lusting over Jason. I wasn't looking at no Kimberly or no Trini. I had no interest in them. I was looking at Jason like, goddamn, he got some big arms, and I didn't realize.
And you know who confirmed it for you?
I liked it.
Leo confirmed it for you.
Oh no. Leo actually didn't confirm it for me. Now I love some Leo. I did.
I'm making
no. I'm just saying. Oh no, I know the shirt reel. Oh no. Oh no, trust me. That did something else for me. The Leos with the shirt reel, because I was a little bit older. That did something else.
Oh God!
But what confirmed it for me was a little piece of TJ Selwyn Ward. Because I'm telling you now, when the episode where they lost their powers in Turbo and his costume was ripped, and you seen them abs through that turbo suit. I was like, oh, like, I mean, like, I was gagging. I remember I had that episode on VHS. And if anybody remembers anything about VHSs, I'm telling you right now, I would pause certain angles just to admire and just to salivate over that man. Because I'm telling you right now, Selwyn Ward hit different when he lost his powers for that moment. That body and that costume ripped, and he had that, girl, no. They knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing to the daughters. Because I'm telling you now, Selwyn Ward was a snack back then, honey. Oh, and still is.
He still is.
I'm just like, oh no, don't do this to me, Power Rangers. Don't you do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. But but yeah, I mean, like, the thing is, it's like what I'm basically getting at is y'all had Tommy and Kimberly sucking each other's faces off. And like I said, I'm sitting here making oogly eyes at Jason. That did nothing for me. So what I'm saying is you can have two women holding hands, two teenagers, because it's supposed to be teenagers, two teenagers holding hands and walking off into the sunset, like, yay, we're a couple. And that will do nothing for anybody. It's not going to change anybody's, sexuality. It's not going to do any of that. Because I'm going to tell you now, Tommy kissing Kimberly every 5 minutes did nothing for my mental. Mm-hmm. Jen and Wes embracing each other, like, oh my God, I got to go back to the future, but I love you. I love you too. Oh my God. And we're embracing and we're hugging. Oh my God. And then we come back the following season and we're still holding each other by the fire. Oh my God, I love you. That did nothing for me. That did nothing for me.
I love the dramaticness of it all.
I mean, it was really dramatic, though.
I mean, it was, but I'm talking about Brian's dramatic, like, retell.
I'm just saying, it did nothing for me. So when y'all sit there and y'all just start trying to talk about it's programming and you're forcing this, what I'm saying is y'all was forcing this on me.
I was just about to say that. I was just about to say that. If anything, they're forcing this shit on you guys.
They're forcing the and I call it the heterosexual agenda. The heterosexual agenda on me, because I'm sitting here like, I don't want to see that. Give me two men. Like, I would love to have seen a little piece of Wes and Eric, cuddling up by the fire. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, Zach kissing Jason, talking about some my hero. That would always live free in my head.
That's our first Ranger kiss, our actual first one.
Okay, like that will always live rent free in my head. Zach kissing a little piece of Jason on the cheek, talking about my hero. Oh, gagged. I loved it. That made my little queer heart have joy in it. I loved it. But it's stuff like that. It's like, y'all really want to sit here and talk about the gay agenda, where it's literally y'all shoving straightness down people's throats every 5 minutes, but y'all want to sit here and say there's an agenda behind just having two people of the same sex holding hands. That doesn't make sense. Because the way Tommy and Kimberly kissed under that mistletoe, Tommy probably got in them panties after that. The way he kissed her under that mistletoe, lest we forget, there was clearly a little bit of, we gonna get busy after this.
Oh, of course.
No.
They were getting real cozy.
Okay. And then let's also remember, in a season to remember, let's not forget, Tommy and Kat had a child. They had a whole child. And also, obviously, JJ. So it's like, we see heteronormative. We see hetero relationships all the time.
JJ?
We can
assume. The older one, we can assume it.
Okay.
I mean, they didn't say his name.
Technically, wouldn't that mean that if that was, because I was in the future. Never mind.
Yeah. Like, I mean, we could, like we could have assumed that was JJ. But, it's just one of them situations where I'm just like, y'all really need to sit back at the end of the day, and I'm just gonna wrap this up. At the end of the day, y'all really do need to sit back and analyze your homophobia. Just because social media is a platform where everybody posts things and everybody posts their ideas, a lot of times you don't have to post your idea. You can just be quiet, which in turn leads me to this one person who also decided that they wanted to jump in on the Dino Fury hate and was like, start, blabbering about how much, I'm not going to cover it anymore. And, it's wrong to see two women on TV because of, holding hands because of the kids and all that stuff. And then once you got all that backlash because you should have minded your business and shut the hell up. Now you got backlash, and now all of a sudden I want to apologize now. It's too late.
For that, Once again, if you have a situation where you feel like, as a straight person, oh, I have gay friends, but I have gay family members, but I just don't agree with what they do. Just know that you're a bigot.
Yeah,
And stop,
Yes.
stop trying to save face or
yes,
whatever the hell it is that you're doing. Because it
exactly.
doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. You
It,
feel the way you feel.
yep,
You don't agree with it, so you don't support the people in your life. Period. So
exactly.
Period.
stop
Well,
trying to be nice.
Period.
and I think we also talked about this in our chat too, and this goes for race and even what's sexism,
Religion,
religion.
Religion.
sexism, yeah.
Yeah. Anytime you add a but after your but to say something, you are exactly what you think you are or
Yeah.
you believe you are. There's no like, oh, I can't be racist because I'm friends with so and so.
When people use that diatribe of, well, I'm not gay, or I'm not, homophobic, but and you add but, you're going to say something homophobic. That happens every single time. It happens every time. So when it's just one of those things where it's just like, especially during that guy's apology.
Oh my God. Can we?
It's just one of those things where it's just like, no.
Can we just honestly just call him up for the way it is? Just because you apologize and you're all like, I shouldn't have shared my opinion, it still makes you a homophobic. By the end of it all, you apologizing didn't mean that you suddenly accepted the community. You were just sorry that the community lashed out on you. You were just sorry that you share your opinions with the wrong people. You were just sorry that you got into the wrong fandom and just period. Like, overall, you're just sorry that you said what you said, but you're not sorry for being who you are. So I don't accept your apology. You can take it and shove it up your rear end. I don't need it. None of us need it.
Pretty much.
Period. Like that's it right there. That's it. Because it's just like, and you said something that just hit the nail right on the head for me. You still are what you are because you didn't apologize for that. You didn't apologize for the fact that you're a homophobe. Nope. You apologize because you claim that you felt bad because you hurt people's feelings. No.
No,
I'm going to tell you right now that yes, some people were hurt, and I'm not trying to take away nobody's anything where they however they felt is however they felt. But what I also want you to know is that you saying what you said, first of all, you said what you said, and you ain't taking that back. That's not what you're apologizing for. And I really had to comb through that apology to really understand what he was saying before I actually wrote what I said. Because my thing is, I read that thing, and at first I was like, okay, so he's trying. So what is happening here? But when I combed through and I actually had an understanding, I'm like, oh no, you're not apologizing for actually being homophobic, because at the end of the day, you still feel the way you feel. Mm-hmm. You just wish you never said anything because you didn't get the reaction that you wanted, which goes back to when I say about what I say about people commenting things. And they it's like, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see people celebrating and being happy for something, and here you come in being a Debbie Downer. My thing is, would you like somebody to do that to you if you were wanting something to be seen or wanting something, and now you're happy, and then all of a sudden somebody come up on your page being like, oh well, I don't quite agree with it. Like, would you feel some type of way? Yes, you would. You would feel some type of way about it. You don't have to always express your opinions on things. You can just simply just be quiet. And he literally said, the reason why I said something was because I saw so many people being happy about it and, contesting other people who had something to say otherwise, because they were being homophobic, you dick. they were being homophobic. Of course, someone is going to call them out for it. So what makes you think that, oh, if I jump into this conversation and I say the exact same thing, that nobody ain't going to drag you for it? Like that, the logic, the math just ain't mathing. It's not mathing. Because it's like, you do realize that if you say something that is homophobic, 9 times out of 10, people are going to come for you. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't quite understand the logic behind that. But he himself thought that if I defend the homophobes and how they felt, maybe, I might get a different reaction. No, baby, you didn't. And that is exactly the reason why you got dragged for it. And now you sitting here apologizing, talking about, I didn't mean to hurt anybody. No, you did. You did. That was your intention.
You meant exactly what you meant.
You meant what you meant, and you said what you said. Like exactly. That, it is what it is. Like if you lost people for it, or if you got the backlash for it, then that's just, it is what it is. You got that for whatever you was asking for.
And plus, you did it to yourself. You really did. Just because you have a platform, doesn't mean you need to share your every single opinion.
Right. You can just be silent if you don't like it.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of things that I can't stand. There's plenty of things I can't stand. But I don't say anything. I just if I see it, I'm like, oh, okay. And I keep it right on pushing. I don't say anything. I don't argue with nobody. I just be like, okay. And I just keep it right on moving. You don't have to always say something. And that's my thing. That's my thing. If you want to be homophobic and you don't like something, that's fine. But you don't have to say anything about it. You don't. And my thing, and also too, can I also just add in that if you have something, if to me, this is the logic in my brain. I'm trying to figure this part out, because for me, in my brain, if you put a comment up, especially a comment like that, a homophobic comment, and you put that, you didn't even put that on your own page. You went on someone else's page, a page that has thousands and thousands of followers. You want people to see what you have to say. Yeah. You want someone to co-sign with what you're saying, because that's what you're looking for. You're looking for agreements. Ooh, I'm about to get real psychology on here. You're looking for agreements. You're looking for someone to co-sign with how you feel. So my thing is, if you were to go on your own page, now mind you, a lot of these people, they don't have many followers when they be talking all that mess. They don't got many followers. That's probably why they don't say it on their own page, because they ain't got nobody following them. But if they go on to bigger platform pages and they start spewing all this crap because they need the attention. They want attention. They want to say what they want. They want to say this stuff so that they can have someone to say, yeah, he's right. Yeah. He's telling the truth. Yeah. But it's like, at the same time, it's like, what, you didn't think that people were gonna drag you and attack you? Like you or not even drag. They really didn't. Yeah, because people really didn't drag or attack anybody. It was mainly a lot of people being like, "Why are you being a dick?"
No. I was actually saying they didn't expect that. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. The psychology of it. You are jumping in and you're saying these things, and you're not expecting anybody to. You're expecting people to just agree with you? Like, because they're really expecting people to just be like, yeah, he's right. Yeah. And it's like, what, you thought that people were going to do that? No. If we're sitting here cheering this on and being like, finally, why do you expect somebody to come up and be like, yeah, he's right. Yeah, we shouldn't have this on TV for kids. Like, what? Like, you do realize you just literally just like a moth to a flame, and then you got burned. And now you're sitting here, looking like an idiot, and people sitting here, frowning you
and dragging you. And now you're sitting here like, well, I don't understand why people are dragging me. You think?
Like, I think you do understand, or you think I this whole thing though, what I do want to point out too, and I've said this in our chat as well. The thing that pissed me off about all of it, about him apologizing or anyone apologizing, is that you all made this about you. It is not even about you.
Right.
Like, this whole thing was never about you, but you found a way to make it about you. Why?
Yeah. It turned well, let me get my words straight. It turned into a thing about him simply because now he's embarrassed. And now it's time for me to play the victim. It's time for me to play the victim. It's time for me to be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for what I said. I feel bad about it now. No. And just to go ahead and just put a button on this conversation, I'm just going to be 100 with you. If you are on this page, if you follow us, if you listen to us, and you have any problems with any form of diversity, whether that is sex, race, sexual orientation, because sex and sexual orientation are two different things. Sex refers to gender. Anything that infringes upon human rights and humans having the right to live and be seen and heard. If you have a problem with that, please exit. Please exit, leave. Don't be on our page. We don't want you. Bye.
Goodbye.
We don't want you. We don't need you.
Exactly. Don't let the door hit
We don't
you on
need
your
you.
way out. Bye-bye.
We don't need you. We really don't. We don't need you. Because my thing is, at the end of the day, and I said this on our story, our page is ran by inclusivity and diversity. This is who we are. And we literally are all about all of those things. So if you feel like, oh, I don't want to see any of that, or I don't want to hear any of that, bye. And that goes for the undercover ones too. Because trust and believe, this little situation, I ain't gonna even hold you. This little situation uncovered a lot of people that that follows us and all sorts of stuff. And I know they listen to our show. They listen. So I want to tell you personally, if you feel that way, and I know who you are, if you feel that way, you can leave. You can leave. You don't have to be here. You don't. Because at the end of the day, we are all about celebrating this stuff. And, Dino Fury did something monumental that we thought we would never, ever see. And apparently they did it, and they're doing it well. They're doing it well. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, if you don't like it and you don't like what they're doing, then you can gladly just move along. And you can also leave this page as well, because we don't need you and we don't want you.
Yeah. Well, all of us are about what the future is going to look like is a very diverse environment. All sorts of people.
Oh, yes.
All sorts of people. And if you can't, like, what are you going to do when you're around all these people? Just isolate them and treat them badly? You're going to see a lot of them because people aren't afraid to just live their lives and live their truths anymore. And we're all about changing with the times and learning. There's still things that we don't quite understand. All of us don't understand yet, but it doesn't mean that they're bad things, and it doesn't mean that these people don't deserve to live their truth. So if you're not about just evolving, you're going to get left behind. And we ain't got time for that. We don't.
Listen, and that's my thing too. It's like, how do y'all treat people in the daily? Like, how do you actually treat your not even
co-workers,
friends, but your co-workers, the people you come in
people that
contact
are
with?
working for you. Yeah.
Okay, like, how do you treat people? Because my thing is, and people got a loud bark on the internet. Like, that is just something. And we talked about internet etiquette before on the show, but people act real different. And because I told you about this, I don't know if I said this on the show, but I think I told you guys about the story where I was talking to this one guy on the internet. He tried to get real buck with me, and I'm like, and I very calmly, because it wasn't no situation where I had to get wild like Tyler Navarro. I didn't have to get wild, but I calmly wrote back. I'm like, you would never say this to my face. So what makes you think that you should be saying that over the internet? Because you never say it to my face, and you know that. And the way his tone changed completely, like his tone just completely changed. It was an automatic shift, and it was like, oh yeah, you right. I wouldn't say that in public, and he knows it. And that's the thing. A lot of people say things over the internet that they know they wouldn't say in person because they know a fist would be flying in their mouth. They know it. They know it. So they get real bossy over the internet. They get real bossy because it's like, oh no, I ain't saying that mess in public. But I'll say it over the internet, but I ain't gonna say it in public because yeah, it'll get real. It'll get really real if I say it in public. That's just, it is what it is. It is what it is, and that's sad. That's sad that you have people that'll do that, and the internet just has become a place of just toxicity and just people just feeling like I need to share all my thoughts and not have any kind of tact or anything. It's just, this is my belief, so I'm gonna say what I have to say. And it's like, but you don't have any coof in what you're doing and what you're saying. You don't have any coof. You don't, because I promise you, if you did, if you actually sat back, just like that Lupin Green guy learned, if you actually sat back and shut up, you wouldn't have you wouldn't have this happen to you. You wouldn't have thousands of people coming at, I'm exaggerating when I say thousands, but you wouldn't have all those people coming at you and dragging you for filth. You wouldn't have all that happening if you just shut up and mind your business, because not everything needs to be said at the end of the day.
Final words. Something that people can sort of take away, Brennan, with your wisdom. Tell us, if anything, it's just like, just have proper internet etiquette. You don't need to say and do everything on the internet. You would say these things in real life, so why would you do it online?
Right.
It's just
right.
Just yeah. So, but yes, thank you, Brennan, for that.
Speaking of just final thoughts, honey. So Power Rangers had these comics. They had some interesting some interesting endings, some interesting final thoughts. Mainly, I'm looking at you, Mighty Morphin. They were pretty interesting. So I'm pretty sure everybody all caught up because this is issue 6, right? So of course I know y'all are already on like issue 11 and all them and being like, ooh, issue 11, ooh. But we are on 6, so you're just gonna have to deal with it, okay? Thank you. So we're gonna be talking about issues of Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers 6, right? So first of all, in Mighty Morphin, just overall thoughts. Like, what is it given? What did y'all think of overall Mighty Morphin 11? Not Mighty Morphin 11, Mighty Morphin 6.
I had fun with it. One of my favorite things was the Tommy and Kimberly situation where they had a fight. God. Then there was another thing with Rocky. We found out more about his his family, like he has a lot of siblings, and I guess just in general, the whole team dealing with the fact that their families are stuck inside of Angel Grove and they can't really do anything about it. And then they had the National Guards, the Army, on orders from the president. They were going to try and get nuclear bombs and to try to get through the force field.
Right.
And then they're like, fuck that. That could kill our family. We like fully ready to go to war with the US government to protect their families.
Period.
So there was a lot of stuff going on.
It was very deep and a lot for such a tiny little comic. Like,
right.
I was like, oh my god, what is happening? Why is so much happening all at once? But I am kind of glad to see the comics that obviously we already know it's the comics, so they've been really good. But it is nice to see them actually, like, going back to Kim and Tom, to actually have a real relationship fight versus everything being always picture perfect with them. And Tommy being jealous, I mean, who's surprised? Like, I'm not even, though.
Oh, of course.
Like, I'm not.
He pissed me off in this scene. So they're outside, they're trying to well, at least Kimberly's trying to clear her head. They're outside the command center, they're working out. And she's just trying to get a workout in, but Tommy's still trying to talk about the problems at hand. She's like, okay, I came out here to work out. Can we like not do this right now? And it's like, right. Yeah, sure. So how about we talk about Matt? And like, what? And then she's saying like, oh my God, I didn't know that he was the Green Ranger. And then he's gonna say, it's okay, Kim. If you I won't be mad if you tell me that you knew that he was the Green Ranger. It's all good. Like, she's telling you that she didn't fucking know. Why are you trying to make it seem like she's lying? Yeah. And she told him off.
As she absolutely should.
The way that he smiled at her, like, I promise I won't be mad.
I was just gonna say that. I'm looking at the picture, like the comic right now, and I was just about to say it. It's also the way he looked at her and said it. I won't be. I really want to smack him so hard this scene, like so hard. Like, my guy, the girl just wants to work out and stress about her family in peace.
Ciao. Ciao. It's the gaslighting for me. It's the gaslighting. Like, this is so gaslightable. This scene was just like, now, Tommy. Now, if you just want to be a piece of crap, then just say that. Like, I mean, you doing the most. But the part, I'm not even going to hold you, though, when you mentioned the part about Rocky, I was so heartbroken when Kimberly threw away them bottle caps. Mm-hmm. I was like, and when he actually said the reason as to why, girl, I was heartbroken for Rocky. I was like, this baby.
Right.
I feel so bad for him.
And the thing is, what I don't get is, why did she throw it away without asking anyone why we have them? Because there's like a pile of them. It wasn't like it was like one
not just one or two. Yeah, exactly.
Right. A lot of it, right? So for me, if there's like a lot of it, my first instinct is, okay, who does this belong to, and why do we have a lot of it?
Right.
Like, that would be my immediate like question. It belongs to somebody, obviously, because there's a lot of it. And why do we have it? If Rocky was like, no, I'm collecting it, that would have been more than enough reason for me to leave it alone. But she didn't ask, okay? She did not ask.
She did not ask. And the thing is, then you got Tommy ass talking about all of our families are gonna be fine. And he's trying to be the quote unquote mediator, like, oh yeah, don't worry, we're gonna be okay. It's like, Tommy,
sometimes
shut up.
You don't need to hear that.
You don't need, right? Like, you should not have said anything. Like, And that's basically what Aisha was okay. And that's basically what Aisha was saying. Like Aisha is like, bruh, like you don't know if our families are going to be okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know this. Yeah, we're trying to fight this thing, and yeah, we're trying to do this, but you don't know what's going to happen, and you can't guarantee that our families are going to be okay.
Nope, you cannot. So sit your ass down and worry about Matt in your own little corner somewhere.
Okay, like, you know, she like it's just and that's the one thing I love about the comics is just that Aisha is very intuitive, but she's also a realist at the same time. Where it's like she just sees stuff for what it is, no matter what. It's just like, this is what this is. This is the situation. And it is what it is. Like, it is what it is. I'm not trying to be all optimistic or anything like that. I'm just seeing what it is. And a lot of times Aisha is just, she's right in normally not in pretty much almost everything she's right. Like, because she's just calling things out for what they are.
Also,
and one thing, one second, and also just on top of her just calling out things for what they are, she also provides a balance to a team that is very optimistic about stuff.
Yeah.
Like, she provides that balance because this team, especially Tommy, just idealistic as shit. Like, I mean, they just so idealistic. Like, yeah, we're gonna do this. We're optimists. We're gonna win. And she's just like, need I remind you, like, our families are stuck in here. Like, and we have no way of getting them out. So I know you excited and I know you trying to be positive, but I just want to let you know the situation is it's real.
But I also feel like that's very much us. Like, Aisha is very much us. Like, that would be us on a team.
Okay.
No, that's not gonna work, honey. I'm sorry. Here's AYZY will not work.
Okay.
But can we, for a whole second, pause to talk about why nobody's talking about the fact that, okay, obviously no one knows yet, but why is Billy not feeling guilty for the fact that he created the Green Ranger?
I think he does feel guilty.
I think he does feel guilty. Yeah, I think he does. I think he just feel very guilty.
He's just dealing with it, you know, because he can't actually talk to anybody about it.
Gag is Billy is one of those characters, as we've seen from the comics. You know, he's just one of those characters who he's just like, I don't want to ruffle no feathers. I'm not trying to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to be in the middle of nothing. I'm just trying to, you know, be smart and just use my brain and trying to figure out as much stuff as possible. Because the thing is, the reason why Billy got himself in the middle of this anyway, I think the reason why he got himself in the middle of this is because of the fact that he's just naturally inquisitive. Like, he's so curious about things. His brain is so scientific and is so curious about everything that when he sees a mission, or when he sees an opportunity to fix something or to figure something out in a scientific way, he's going to try to meet that challenge. And the green power coin, was a huge challenge for him to break. And the only person that had the ability and the technology that could help him do it was Grace. But that means betraying everybody else. So, you know, it's like, well, what do you do? Kind of a situation, you know? And he knows that, okay, if I say something to everybody that I'm working with Grace, knowing that, you know, people don't like Grace around here. The people don't like her. You know, I could probably end up, you know, betraying my team. Which
but you already did. But you already did. You know? Like, it's already too late, Billy. I'm sorry. You already did.
Oh, it's very late. It's very late.
You need to, like, surrender to it. Just, you know, face the consequences. You already did.
Right.
Oh, it was so frustrating to read this comic and not have her be brought up at all. Because I think up until this point, we haven't really seen his like perspective or his like concern or his like side of things, you know. It's just mostly Tommy being pissy and Kimberly being a dick, throwing away Rocky's bottle cap. And then, of course, as a whole, they're worried about how to get their family out of this whole force field that that the National Army wants to nuke.
Right. It's a lot. It is a lot. And I just, like, honestly, I really do feel bad for them, for those kids. I do. I feel bad for them. I feel really bad for those kids because it's just like, you know, it's like they don't know what's going to happen. They really don't. Like, they have no idea what's about to happen to them. You know?
Yeah. But the ending, though, how do you feel? Like, that's interesting.
So let me tell you.
For sure.
The ending on this, I ain't gonna even hold you. That ending, seeing Matt with Goldar standing there like, you know, come with us and you won't get hurt kind of thing. It's like, you better be under somebody's spell because that's real messed up. Like, it's like, bruh. So what is this, honey? Like, how in the world you end up talking about some, okay, you need to come with what? Why are you staying with Goldar and a bunch of super buddies? What is happening? You know, like that was my question. It was just like that I got real caught off on that one. Like that was like a what the fuck moment.
I love the setup for that because they have figured out a way to get into the force field. They had a little bit of help from Grace. She was able to get through. It was a very staticky reception, but she was able to get through to them on the viewing globe in the command center. And another part I really liked because Kimberly's still pissed at Tommy. They are making the decision to go back to the force field and talking to Zordon, getting their little briefing, and then Tommy goes to say it's morphin time, but Kimberly interrupts him and she does the morph call. I love that part.
Okay, because Kimberly was over it.
Yeah. So they when they went to the force field, they had they got attacked by the super Z putties, I guess they're called.
Yeah, whatever they're called.
Yeah, and they had help from Candace, who we found out is her real name is Zelia. She's from Eltar, and she actually got to transform and has her own suit and weapons and stuff. Then they got excuse me, sorry. My bad. Them getting through the force field and seeing that there was nothing there. That was interesting. Like to get through and there's like the whole town is untouched. It's just nobody's around. That had to be like freaky as hell.
I'm just saying, I would have thought of that as like a thriller movie, like a thriller or something, like how Ola May was like nervous walking through the streets, and then all of a sudden, like here come a whole bunch of zombies and Michael Jackson looking crazy. Like, I mean, I'm just saying, I would have been like, what is happening? Like, why is there nobody here? What's going on?
Yeah. So like we said, we got to that last panel of Matt the Green Ranger with Goldar and but it looks like it's the Z Putties. And who are those other people? Are they army members?
Yeah, they look like army to me.
Yeah, so like we're wondering what the hell does this mean? Like, are you under a Z spell? Were you is Grace working with Zed? Like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah, it kind of looks like that. I think that it might be Grace's people who are just like,
Mhm.
working also for Zed as well. If it is, it's like, Grace, girl. Now I know you don't like Zordon and you got a problem with him, but what are you doing? What are you doing? But yeah, like this comic to me overall was just like it was definitely one of those issues where I'm just like, wow. Like it was very
Action packed.
it was very action packed, but it also had those moments of just like, what is going on? It was just like, whoa, what's happening? What is happening? No, I did too. I really like this issue. This was a good one. Now issue 6 of Power Rangers. Now I do have a question. Did you like issue 6 of Power Rangers more or issue 6 of Mighty Morphin?
I want to. That's hard because
That is hard.
they both have their own. Obviously, they have their own storyline. If which one did I enjoy reading more? I actually like Power Rangers because I like Andros and Crone anyways. So I've always liked their backstory, and there was a bit more action happening in this particular issue. Yeah. So yeah, this is more action first. So it was more exciting to read. Where there was stressful and more just stressful.
That's hard. That's hard for me because they both brought something very different. The Mighty Morphin felt like an action packed episode with like a big old cliffhanger, but then Power Rangers, the whole extraction story through the whole issue was really that was really fun. So I don't know if I can cheat because they both brought something different, but they both were really entertaining.
So whatever you feel, it's cool. My thing is, I'm just like, for me personally, I personally felt like with me, the comic for Power Rangers to me, both of them this time around were very action. We're very heavy on action.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess for me, the Power Rangers comic this time around was a lot more. Anybody seen that movie Speed?
Oh yes, that's one of my favorite. Like those, that was like a childhood movie for me. I love it.
Okay, like I loved that movie. Speed is one of my favorite movies, and that's what this comic was given. It was given very that to me because of the whole fight on top of the train. And what I loved about this scene is that it was like a real life or death kind of mission, rescuing Jason and Zach and Astronomer, because Ecliptor was like, rescue my baby child. Go ahead and rescue my child. So it was one of those situations where it was like, all right, so Trini had to end up teaming up with them, but at the same time, it was like it turned into a rescue mission, but then it turned into like a mission where they're like on top of a moving vehicle and basically fighting, and it like a creature dies. Like, I mean, it gets real, so and one thing that I kind of rolled my eyes, but Trini feeling like because a life was lost, she was like, oh, we're turning into Draken, that kind of thing. Like, oh, are we with that? Right, like are we becoming Draken by killing people and all that stuff? And it's like, girl, understand the assignment. Like, you are a Power Ranger. Like, you aren't always going to save everybody. Like, I don't care what happens. Like, I'm pretty sure some people died in Angel Grove during all them doggone doing all the monster attacks. Like, people are going to get hurt. So you can't, like, you just because somebody got killed during this whole situation, that doesn't mean you're a Draken. Okay, Draken is literally going out here killing people on purpose. Like, this is what he does. Like, he kills people on purpose.
So
you're not doing that.
You're not. And not even just that, but now it kind of goes back to what all of us have always been talking about. You know, when they have sword battles or when a monster attacks, what about all those other bystanders? What about their homes? What about all the, casualties that you probably lost? Why are we not talking about them? But we're talking about that one person that you, quote unquote, accidentally murder.
Right. That was my thing. I'm just like, girl, and trust me, don't get me wrong. I get it. I get you feel bad. I really do. I understand you feel bad. But at the end of the day, it's not like you purposely went and tried to murder this person. Like, it's not like that was the goal. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna kill this man. Like, no, it just happened.
Yeah, she didn't even do it. It was an astronomer, right? Yeah, she shot him.
Yeah. He hit him and he went flying off the vehicle.
Mm-hmm. And Trini was traumatized.
Right. And I'm just like, girl, you didn't do it. So what you getting upset for? Like, you ain't did it. It's okay. I actually really did like that issue just because of the fact that it was just like, to me, I actually did like Power Rangers a lot more than this one, only because it just felt, I guess the moving vehicle actually added a lot more into it that made me go, oh snap, rather than, just them trying to break into the force field, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, I did enjoy that, but I love the moving vehicle thing. I just love that.
There's a part where Jason and Astronomer, they're inside of they're still in the jail, and they're Astronomer sharpening screws, just to use against the guards, and I guess possibly Jason and Zach if she needed to. And while this is happening, Zach is in the background knocked out. I thought that was so funny for some reason. Jason tried to make small talk with Astronomer, but she let him know that she'll kill him. And she said that she's killed other Rangers before. And I wonder how true that is.
Personally, I think she did. I think Sis has just been like, Sis is out here just like murdering up people for whatever reason. I'm trying to kill some Rangers. Because, I mean, it's already like, I'm guessing she's becoming like the astronomer. She's becoming the astronomer that we know.
Mm-hmm.
And we just haven't gotten there yet. She hasn't become the princess of evil as of yet, but it's coming. But, she's just not there yet, which I'm just like, child, if she already out here trying to shank Rangers in their sleep, like, I'm just wondering what's going to really end up happening. Like, what are we going to run into in the near future with her? Because right now, Sis is a basket case. Like, she is a whole basket case. Because the way she was sitting there, like, trying to basically murder them in that jail cell, I'm like, girl, like, are you okay?
The vehicle that Ecliptor stole to drive to the train that was holding all of them, it gave me major pod racer vibes from episode 1 of Star Wars. It was like pod racer and like one of the Mad Max, like a hybrid of that, one of the Mad Max vehicles. That was oh my god, I really had so much fun with this one. This was a lot of fun.
I did too.
Just the way, like the whole, oh God, it was so good. And then to fast forward a little bit, Draken, he was in the issue as well. And while Trini was in Ecliptor were doing the mission, he went to uh the 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 alien Frederick, I think his name was. He screwed over Jason and Zach in the card game from the last episode. And he basically threatened him because Yale came with him, and he was able to get the fusion converter so that they could get off of Onyx. And off screen, he mentioned that he wanted to strike up a deal with him, but we don't know what it is because it happened off screen. So we're like wondering, what does he have planned? But I'm thinking it's probably not anything bad against the Rangers, just for the fact that Yale was working with Draken and like he was like protecting him. So I would think, like animals they're not going to have loyalty to somebody that they don't trust. So I'm thinking like he may have actually be reformed.
I don't know.
I'm just wondering what this deal is that he struck with Kendrick.
I don't trust it.
I
don't trust it. I don't trust it. I don't trust that he actually is reformed, only because of the fact that I personally just don't trust Draken. Like Draken, I feel like is just trying to he's just biding time. He's just like, look, I'm just doing this because right now these hoes got me captive. But trust and believe, I don't want to be here. Like, I don't want to be here and I don't want to be helping y'all. So let's just make that very clear. And I just kind of feel like Draken is, like I said, he's just buying time. I just think he's buying time until he is able to just be like, all right, I'm free. And then, start wreaking havoc. Because I really do think Draken is still evil. He's still evil. He is still out here just being just as problematic and just as murderous as he was before. Like, I think he is. I don't trust him. But no, I did find it kind of fishy, and I was gonna bring that up too. I did find it kind of fishy that he was just like, oh yeah, I'm trying to be helpful and do all of this, and also, hey, I need this converter, but let me talk to you in private. What kind of deal did you trying to strike in private that you can't say in front of Yale? Like what you got to say? Because I guarantee you, if you saying it in private, it ain't nothing good. Like, it ain't nothing good. And that's why I was like, oh, you about to turn on them. You about to do something to turn on them or set them up or something. I just feel like he's going to set them up. I really do. I think he's going to set them up.
They had a moment when they said their goodbyes. Trini was pissed about what happened with the SPD agent that got murked. And then she let it be known that the next time that they see Astronomer, they're going to finish this situation. So she basically told Astronomers on site next time she sees her.
Which, I mean, as we can probably see, like, that really doesn't happen.
Yeah. I mean, but we're in an alternate reality, so it could. You never know. Probably not, but you never know.
I mean, they might run into each other again in the comics or something. But I'm just speaking in just the world, of just Power Rangers in general. It's like, well, she didn't run into it because this is pretty much during the time before any of these other teams. So it's just like, nah, she's not gonna run into her, but she might, she might run into him. The reason why they ran into each other to begin with is mainly because, like, they're in space, and of course, like, space is where a lot of stuff was happening before we got it on the show. Because, like, a lot of the stuff on the show, it just sort of happened. Like, it came along and a lot of it was space stuff. Like a lot of the monsters were in space and all this stuff, and they had no background until their entrance into the show. But all this time, they're just floating around in space doing God knows what. So, now that the Omega Rangers are in space, hell, I'm pretty sure it would make sense that they encountered all of those different Rangers. It would make sense. Different Rangers, different villains. It would make sense if they did. It would make sense. I'm wondering, though, if we are going to get that far, did the Rangers ever encounter, because they encountered Astronomer. So did the Omega Rangers encounter, a piece of Machine Empire? Did they encounter Divatox even? Like that's what I'm wondering. Like, shoot, y'all encountering all these other people. Did you encounter these people too? So that would be very interesting to see if they did end up actually encountering those villains and being like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, and so now they're on the Omegas. They're on their way to find the Imperials, and Zach straight up is not even like, he's like, do we even really want to do this? We saw what they did the last time,
right?
And I think the last thing that we see is while Trini is still sulking over the death of that SPD agent and Jason's trying to cheer her up, we see one of the Imperials destroying another planet.
Right.
So how the hell are they going to fight these things is the question.
That's what we have to see, because now that we know how the Imperials work, well, where they come from, so what do we do? Because these are like these world-destroying creatures, so how do we stop them? What's going to happen with this little piece of episode? I'm very excited.
And we know the next big crossover is going to be the Omegas and the Mighty Morphin Rangers teaming up to take them on. So that should be like epic. I can't wait to read that.
I just want Zordon to basically stick his foot in his mouth, because he's doing all of that and trying to chase some Rangers down and trying to arrest them and all this mess. And they just doing their jobs. Like they're doing what he taught them to do. So it's just one of them situations. I'm just like, now Zordon, come on now. You doing a whole lot for something that is not that. Well, overall today, I hope that we have, educated you on proper internet etiquette and how to be a good person. And if you want to be a kind person, you can always, reach out to people. If you want to actually learn about things and actually want to be a better person, there are ways you can actually talk to people. Yep. You can do research. Yep. You can read books. You can read accounts on people. There are so many ways that you could just be a better person and learn other things than what you're being taught. Like there are ways.
And also keep in mind, like exactly what we went back to, Power Rangers is about diversity, acceptance, and just overall love is love, and just be kind to one another, and
exactly.
To kind of rephrase what Will said.
Human rights are not an opinion.
Yes.
I don't agree with you existing. That's basically what you're saying.
Yeah. So
keep that in mind when you have those opinions or think about those things.
Exactly.
Right. It is that for me. Yeah. That's what we want you to think about when you going out here trying to get on the internet and touting your little hate speech. Just think about what you're saying, and that should
hurt. It sure, and your words do hurt people, and you don't know. Just kind of rephrasing what you said earlier, Brennan, that you don't know what people are going through. So that could very well be that final straw for them. So yeah, just think of it. Just think before you speak, and also remember, not every single thought needs to be shared on the internet.
Facts. Amen
We don't
to
need
that.
to know it. Yeah, you don't have to. You do not have to say everything that comes to your mind. Like, duh. Like, you don't know that some things that's in your head are pretty shitty. Like, everybody, or it's dumb, and like everybody.
Without any, with that being said, as Will perfectly has said, with that being said, my name is Brandon.
I am Lena.
And I'm Will.
And we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.